up to the discretion of the future government of these areas, the Palestinians.
Why?
But I would say that international law would apply, and in two ways. One way that it would apply is that everyone who's an illegal settler is basically a war criminal and needs to leave. However, there are laws.
I can't even visit in the West Bank.
There are laws which say that if you're born in a region, ma'am, could you let me finish? There are laws which say that. Could you let me talk?
You're not listening.
There are laws which say that if you were born in this area, that you have a right of citizenship. So, arguably, there are some tens of thousands of settlers who may be able to claim under international law some right to remain there. And I would say that those laws need to be very carefully looked at. And I don't think it would be appropriate to expel people who've been born there. Just offhand, it may be necessary.
Do you know how many Palestinians would agree with what you're saying?
None.
None.
I think
the Palestinians have no standards by his guidelines. None. Whatever they do is accepted, even if it's murder.
Could you let us have a civil conversation?
So what you're saying, if I understand you, in this orange area, this area here,
this is the 1967 border.
No Israeli can live without the permission of the Palestinians who will control that area. Is that correct?
Let me restate it, okay? Every Israeli who entered this territory since 1967 is in violation of the Geneva Conventions. They are war criminals, and they have no right to be there. Okay, under the Geneva Conventions, every single one.
Are the Americans in Iraq war criminals?
Excuse me, they're not setting up citizenship.
They invaded. No, they're just occupying without citizenship.
Okay, but there's a difference between occupation and settlement. They're not different.
So occupation is okay, because you are here against occupation.
Settlers, civilian settlers now have control of half of this.
So occupation is okay, so that we actually occupy the West Bank because we were terrorized before. That was one of the reasons.
Actually, I would disagree with that as well.
Okay, but you have here against occupation. What you're saying is what's going on in Iraq, miles away from the American.
This is an Arab TV documentary. This is a chance for you to say something to the Arabs face to face. Do you like to tell them anything? Just face to face, without all the politicians people. You, to the Arab audience, Arab viewers, what would you like to say? It's Al Arabiya TV. What would you like to say face to face? Forget about all the politicians. What would you like to say?
Israelis have one country and the Arabs have loads of countries, and they want to get our country as well. It's not fair. We don't have where to live. They do. They have loads of other countries. We don't.
And we are willing to negotiate so that everybody can have their piece of land, but it has to be a negotiation. We have to find some way to live in peace, both countries together. And we feel as Israelis, the Palestinians aren't willing to discuss it. That the way they see it is that they have nothing to lose, and that they're willing to use terrorism as a force. And from that point of view, I think there's no chance of getting to peace. They're willing to discuss it. We're willing to discuss it. We'll have to find a way because we have no other choice. Both people.
Do you think what the Israeli government is doing helps what you're saying?
I think that the Israeli government has tried. I think that Barak tried when he was in government. I think that Sharon has done a lot. From his opinion,
let me tell you something.
He was much more right-wing. He's willing to accept the idea. One second. He's willing to accept the idea of a Palestinian state, but there is no way that we can negotiate that if they're still using terrorism as a force against us. So if the Palestinians understand that and they're willing not to use terrorism as a force, and I mean all the groups, especially the Hamas and all the very Muslim groups that won't even discuss talking to an Israeli. If we can work on that, and if the Israeli people feel that the Palestinian people are willing to come to a compromise and something is negotiable, I think there's a chance of peace.
Do you genuinely think that Sharon is a man of peace?
I'm
Lebanese. Talk to me as a Lebanese guy.
I think that Sharon has the power to do things that maybe a left government couldn't do.
Do you think Sharon did anything wrong?
If the Palestinians are fair and are willing to negotiate, that the Israelis will listen.
Do you think Sharon did anything wrong in his past?
What?
Did Sharon did anything wrong?
There's no connection. Sharon is now my representative. He's the head of my government, and I know that he's willing to accept the concept of a Palestinian state. But we have to negotiate on the borders, and I think that that's legitimate.
Yeah,
and nobody's asking now to give the America back to the Indians. It's a non-point. That's not the question.
Okay, I want to ask you about Sharon. Does he really represent?
Yeah. What's the connection?
Good.
He's
in my neighborhood. I was 7 years old.
important step in this entire process is ending the occupation, removing the settlements. I believe that like 90% of the violence that's happening is happening because of the occupation, because there are soldiers here, and because there are settlers here stealing the land. Okay, this is happening every day, and it's not just, they're not just living there peacefully. Okay, they're taking the land every day. Okay, over 12,000 settlers have moved in since last July. All right, I think that the most important thing is that these settlers be removed, that the occupation, the military occupation of this land be ended. Once that is done, then all the other issues, water, control over water, control over airspace, trade relations, government issues, stuff about like military recognition, those kinds of things, those are secondary issues, and those do have to be addressed, but they're less important than resolving the matter of the sovereignty of Palestine. Okay? Now personally, I think that the right of return, I think that international law needs to be abided by here. Okay?
Which means?
International law says that any refugee anywhere who's been expelled from his home has a full right to either return or to be paid full compensation, and it's their choice which. That's not a collective right, it's an individual right, and it can't be waived on their behalf by any party. Okay, that's international law, and that's accepted by everyone in every country in the world. Okay, I don't see any reason why that should not be allowed to apply to Palestinians.
So what you're saying is,
now it's a complicated story. There are a lot of Palestinians. There are Palestinians living here. There are tens of thousands of Palestinians living in Israel who are refugees.
The difference between a tank and a suicide bomb and a helicopter warship.
It's a very big difference.
When they're both killing civilians on both sides. Both sides are killing civilians. Israel is creating genocide.
The target of the Palestinian terrorism is civilians. In Iraq, maybe yes, maybe now yes. Do you think they could stand freely like you stand here and make this debate?
I don't know.
Do you think they could do that in Shem, in Turkey?
Can I ask you something?
Of course, they do it all the time.
Can you answer him, please?
Can I ask you something? I'm 100% against suicide bombs, and I think they're useless, and all they're doing is killing innocent people. But listen,
I didn't think you have to ask me this question.
just listen for a second. Did you ever take the time to think about what kind of desperation it takes for a person to even think of considering that? You know what I'm saying? There's obviously
terrorists. I got it.
no
Excuses for the terrorists.
Whoa, what's Sharon's excuse for terrorism? What is Sharon's excuse for terrorism?
Excuse me, I don't suggest that Sharon is a terrorist. It's what you're saying. It's like me
I'm
asking.
asking you, you think all these people are just
Hold on,
crazy?
hold on.
They obviously,
When you're finished, I'll speak.
they obviously have, they're on their social media.
I can tell you what they want to
Justify what? What? Justify what?
Justifies killing a 4-year-old child.
You didn't ask us they wanted to do it.
And let me ask you
Question, which is what you're asking me is the same thing. So have you stopped beating your wife yet?
I don't have a wife. I don't know what you're talking about.
You think anybody in their world would think you're a reasonable person?
Well,
when you ask a question like that?
Well, he's asking me. He's
I
asking
just
me
want
the
to say
same.
one little thing. I heard a woman comment here talking about like the American Native people. I don't know exactly what's been a while, but the Arabs, I mean, Sharon and his government have made it very plain that Americans should have nothing to say about this because of what we did to the Native people when we effected Manifest Destiny. And we know from reading the historical record that the early Zionists were absolute in their intention to transfer the population out of Palestine to make way for Israel. Now, are we supposed to just pretend that that's not what's going on here?
Yeah, tell me what you think.
Hamas has told you what they want. This is the first step. They want Palestine means Tel Aviv and means all of Israel. That's what they even tell you.
I want to listen to it.
Israel suggested to do peace, but the Arabs want all of our country, and we have one country. They have loads of countries. So how can we do peace like this?
Do you want to have peace? I mean, are you interested?
Yes.
Would you like peace to take place?
We don't want
Do you hate the Arabs for a reason or another? Do you hate them? Do you think they hate you?
We don't hate. I don't hate them. I hate the terrorists. I hate the one that kill us. I don't hate other Arabs.
I'm
many of them are terrorists?
Like most of them, or half of them?
Most.
Believe that Arabs can tell the truth? He said that. I said, you understand that this is a racist question. He said, it's not racist. What do you think about that?
Can the Arabs say the truth?
They say whatever suits the occasion.
Do Jews tell the truth? Are they different than Jews?
Whatever suits the occasion.
Do Jews do something different than Arabs regarding the truth? Are Jews more honest than Arabs? Do you believe?
I think that's a loaded question.
I'm just asking. Do you think that Arabs lie? Do you think that Arabs are somehow compulsive liars? I'm asking because Barack said that in the New York Times recently.
Have you stopped beating your wife yet?
I mean, no,
Have you stopped beating your wife yet?
Why are you saying that?
I'm just asking. Well, answer the question. Yes or no? Have you stopped beating your wife yet?
What's that mean? What's that mean?
He's just going on there on his ballistic here.
What's that mean?
Ask him. You're asking a stupid question.
No, actually, Barack was in the New York Times recently saying that Arabs have no concept of the truth. Okay, this is the Prime Minister of Israel. Barack
Wearing that. By wearing that vest. Why do you care?
Barack was in the New York Times.
You see that?
You are a
Barack was in the
direct liar.
He's a liar?
Yes.
Of course.
He's wearing this thing saying he's an Israeli citizen. You see?
Why are you making noise? You can't.
Because you're screaming at me and pointing at me like a crazy person.
One moment. Just one thing I want to say. In America, it's a free country, and you are free to be a schmuck.
Thanks.
Yay! And you're doing it very well. You are free to be a putz.
You're not sensitive, are you?
Settlers come here every day.
Huh? No, not at all. Not at all.
Let me tell you, settlers are all over New York City.
Put it straight. And then, where will I find this?
Do you know Al Arabiya TV?
Oh, no.
It's part of the NBC. You find this on the week of September 11th.
All I said in the conversation that I had with him, all I asked him was, by the way, you misquoted me. I made a mistake. I'm going to take it back because he misquoted me.
Yeah, what was the
just a second. Let me talk. I did not mean, and I got offended anyone. I did not mean that Arabs lie. I said, what I meant to ask him, does he believe that Hamas tells the truth? Right? That's all I asked him. Right? Did I ask you that? And what did
you didn't ask me that. You asked do Arabs tell the truth.
I apologize, and now I'm going to read it. Okay?
So you want to ask me about Hamas?
Exactly.
Okay,
now I want to ask you.
So I'll
now
answer
you
your
have
question.
time to think it over again. You don't have to go ahead.
He asked, does Hamas tell the truth? I think Hamas tells the truth probably in the same way that Israel tells the truth and I tell the truth. We all tell the truth to pursue what we're trying to accomplish.
Then why are you wearing that vest?
So if you say
why are you wearing that vest? You're a fraud.
Why are you wearing?
He shouldn't
Why
be
do you say
wearing
you're a
that. He should not
citizen?
be
Why are
wearing
you
that.
saying you're an
Because if he's
Israeli
telling
citizen?
that he is not a citizen of Israel, that means he proves he's a citizen. That's a lie. That is
You're
a
not
lie.
telling me.
That's an out lie.
No.
Liar,
He can say it. He lives in a world of no standards. There are no standards here. Whatever he says is okay, regardless if it's true or not.
Of course not. He doesn't even know what the word is.
So what?
I don't speak Hebrew.
So then why
sorry.
I'm telling you what it means. Take it off.
No. He lives in a world of no standards. He makes up his own truths.
Misrepresentation is also
Like I say,
this is what Jews in New York City do. They come to try to prevent people from hearing
Racist remarks.
Racist.
And child molester and racist.
Yes, and
I'm a child molester now. Okay? They come and they say that we're all anti-Semites. One guy comes every week to call me a homo. He asked if I beated my wife.
He's a child molester.
But you never answered.
I have 10 people screaming in my face going,
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Because he's a schmuck.
I'm doing it. Okay, you're going to let me answer without screaming like a maniac?
Why are you doing this?
Okay, I tell you what, you allow me to answer and I'll answer. All right. Okay, this woman asked why I'm out here. Okay, I'm out here because my taxes pay for this. Every day, my taxes are killing Palestinians. 50 Palestinians every day are struck by bullets that my taxes paid for. In the last 1,000 days, over 170,000 Palestinians have had their homes bulldozed by American bulldozers that my taxes paid for.
Are you telling me?
Every day, 13 children are shot by American bullets that my taxes sent to her. Okay? That's why.
He told you what he's doing. What do you want to answer?
What are you doing living here then? And not
I'm born here. What are you doing living here?
I'm born here, dear.
Are you an Israeli citizen?
I'm an Israeli citizen. I don't lie about it. However, what are you doing here? For the country in which you're born, your taxes.
I'm here trying to protect my country. My country.
I'm talking. It's my turn. I let you talk.
Talk, please. Oh my God. Listen.
He answered you. Do you want to answer?
I'm trying.
Biblical, not racist.
I have known many Americans right here that our
Do you know the Bible? Do you know that Zionism is biblical?
That our taxes are putting in the street. Did you protect your home turf
It comes from the Bible.
Just
You know what? I hate to tell you this.
your
You're
flag
ignorant.
and
It is from the Bible. Go to your priest. Go to your rabbi.
You're a fundamentalist. You're on the right wing.
Honey, Zionism is biblical.
Zionism is racist. Judaism, all right? Judaism is 2,000 years old, not 200 years old.
Burn all the Jews. Yes.
Zionism is not synonymous with Judaism. Zionism is not fascist philosophy.
Can you read Hebrew? Can you read the Bible? Read the Bible. Go to your minister and ask him to read the Bible. Can you read the Bible? Is the word Zion in the Bible?
Zionism is not the same as Judaism. Zionism is not the same as Judaism.
Zionism is not synonymous with
We support Judaism.
Zionism is a fascist
Out of Zion shall
philosophy
come
that
forth the
can't even
Lord.
say that.
Zionism.
You can say that.
Zionism
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
Bible.
Nazism is
The Bible.
synonymous.
You can say that, and you can agree with
We
it.
support
Let's hear each other. Let's hear each
I'm
other.
not saying you
Zion is from the
but you say
Bible.
Zionism is fascism.
Zionism is not the same
How do you know that? You don't
Thank
even know
you
the
for telling me. I
Bible.
realize
Speak to me
that,
in
but it's
Hebrew.
also not
Speak to me in
fascism. It has
Hebrew.
nothing to do with fascism.
Because you know the Bible. Read it in the
fascist what
original.
you're doing to the Palestinians.
Well, you
King
may
of
be
Zion, they say Quran.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Sharon.
You just used the word.
Talking about the
Zionism is a very
Israeli
old-
Defense Forces murdering people.
You're talking about the Israel Defense Force, and are you talking about the Palestinians murdering Israeli citizens? Is that something that you find
Four times more Palestinians died.
But it is that, so you wait a second. Does that mean that the other deaths are correct?
No, it
The whole
doesn't.
situation is horrible.
No,
If you
it
were
doesn't.
fighting for peace, I would understand. But you're only taking one side.
I agree with you that what happened to the Native Americans was a terrible thing. It was terrible. What happened to Black Americans was a terrible thing, right? They are, right? Are they asking for reparations? You know that the African Americans want reparations? Are you prepared to pay reparations?
I think we should most definitely give them reparations.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. But do I believe that? Do I believe that? Who are you going to give it to?
By a Democratic Go read history. I am sorry.
You don't have a democracy in Israel.
We don't have a democracy in Israel.
I am tired. For 40 years, I have supported Israel. Tom DeLay is a Christian Zionist.
You don't understand what democracy is, because democracy.
You don't understand what democracy is.
Someone who's voted in, who you like, is president. Democracy is accepting the fact that a group of people, the majority,
Don't like him. We don't have to like him.
You don't have to like him, but that's what a democracy means. Sharon was democratically chosen. Arafat was not democratically chosen.
He's a liar. He's a thief. He's a killer. Do you read the whole
He's setting to like, he asked if I wanted to fight.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Basically, there's a Jewish terrorist group in New York City called the JDL. They come here weekly and they try to start fights. This is what they do. They're a terror group. They're
individual over here
I'm here
likes to
talking
lie.
about peace.
Every fifth word out of his mouth is a lie.
Think they should judge Ariel Sharon as a war criminal? Ariel Sharon, you don't think they should judge him? Sharon, how they call him again? Ariel Sharon as a criminal?
Terrorists and lawyers stand here.
That's what
Who are you talking about?
You want to hear some stories? We have some stories for you. Would you like to hear them?
No.
Why not? You only want to hear what you want to hear?
No, I'm tired. I'm tired right now.
Why? So if you're tired, go and sit someplace else. You're here with the picture. This is one. You know how many hundreds of them were killed? He is a brother of somebody who lost two of her children. Two of their children. The mother is sitting down. She doesn't even want to come out of her house because two of them are killed.
Why do you think Arafat sent his wife to Paris with millions of dollars to live? Excuse me.
He's corrupt.
Okay, so what are you out for? I don't understand.
Who is the Palestinian? She wanted to protect
you are.
He's a killer. He steals, he lies, and he kills.
And so is the whole regime and the rest of the Arab country. Do you think they give an opportunity to Israelis to give and to live in harmony? Do you think in the last 50 years they gave Israel an opportunity to live in harmony?
How come they didn't protect her? She went to support them. Why didn't they protect her?
Why did she need protection?
She needed protection because she went to
Why do you feel guilty that she's dead?
No, I don't.
Many people here have been
You look like an intelligent woman.
Many people. What about?
Should have been. What the hell was she doing there?
She has every right to be.
Like she had every right, but she had every right to be killed.
Palestinians have every right to be protected. There should be an international.
Oh, the Jews don't have the right.
I don't mind protecting.
The Israelis have a right to exist like everybody else.
What kind of stupid sign is that?
What is this Palestine you're talking about?
Why does this sign bother you?
No,
because there's no such thing as
Palestine. There's no such thing as Palestine. But what does this? What does the sign mean? You know where
the word Palestine comes from? From the goddamn British in the 1920s, where they controlled the Middle East. That's where it came from, not from the Arabs. Don't let nobody bullshit.
The word Palestine comes from the Romans with Palestina.
That's besides the point.
That's the point. That's what Palestine comes from.
You don't know what they're talking about.
Doesn't come from the British. You don't know what you're talking about.
Believe me, I lived there for 23 years. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
It doesn't come from the British. It comes from hundreds of years before the British.
Let me tell you that. You see the country of Jordan? There's no such thing as the country of Jordan. That was originally Israel. And the British cut it up.
There's no place in Jordan. It was Transjordan. There was no Jordan. But worse than that, there was none.
Arafat has all the money that comes from all over the world. He sent his wife to Paris. She lives in luxury. He lives in luxury.
They destroy their houses.
Everybody lives in houses. Of course, defense is defense. Arafat.
I'll tell you what.
No, you're not. You are not informed. And your side should say, Arafat, feed your people with the money that has been donated to you for the purpose that it is. You are the one who repressed the whole Middle East.
Good get to the store because they're locked in their houses under curfew 24 hours a day.
They believe because Muhammad never left Saudi Arabia, wrote in the Quran, or according to Muslim theory, and so
They throw them the devil out of Jordan. They throw him the hell out of Iraq. They throw him the hell out of Jordan. There's no such place as Lebanon. Lebanon's controlled by Syria. Syria doesn't admit to there being a Lebanon.
That's right.
They say Lebanon is greater Syria.
Yeah.
Giving Palestinians freedom. That's 4-year-old boy. So that's fine. So anytime that any so you are. Stick with him on time. I will, as you are. So that's the one 4-year-old is a Palestinian boy. You know the Israel-Palestine? No, when the bombing. What a Zionist terrorist.